Hey everybody, it's Missy and I'm back today with a new project for the Paige Evans design team, and this is something that I maybe have only ever done once in my creative life, and that is make a mini album. And I was kind of excited to try something different but kind of nervous because it's out of my comfort zone, but I really like how it turned out. What I did was I didn't really have an idea where to start, so I went to the Silhouette Studio store and just typed in mini albums, and I found this really cute suitcase folding accordion style album, and I thought that is adorable. And I've got lots of travel pictures, and so I sized it how I wanted it, and I cut it on some white cardstock, and I'm just taking some distress ink here, and this is going to totally look different than it is here. This is a splotchy mess, and it's going to be a brown suitcase. I've got it peeled off the mat over there on the left by my hand, and I added some spray to it. I thought I was recording that part, but apparently I didn't. So what I'm doing now is creating the pages for inside of my album, and I went through all of the pattern papers from Fancy Free, Take Me Away, and Oh My Heart, and I picked out some that I could kind of mix and match together and I thought would look pretty with, bright different colors. And this is me fumbling around with the actual suitcase part of the album, not knowing what in the heck I'm doing. Yeah. This is a total amateur here, so you're going to bear with me if you watch how I put this together. It's like, hello, wake up. There you go. I finally figured out how to do it. Yeah. So it's going to have 8 pages, and there's these 2 little middle sections that I have to glue down. And I finally decided, oh yeah, okay, now I'm going to have to color the inside of the suitcase. I got the outside cover colored, but now I got to color the inside. So I've got all my so-called pages punched out, and now I'm going to actually assemble the album. And this is just some of my quick dry glue here, and I'm going to stick this together. And so I've got one big accordion style little album here, and I think this is a really cute idea. This is going to hold really small photos, and I'm going to try to keep it pretty flat. And my normal thing is lots of dimension and texture, and I still get lots of texture on it, I think. And here I am folding it backwards. Yep, that's the outside. Let's fold it the other way. Here we go. Again, amateur hour here. There we go. Now you can see it's cute. I love this. And you can just kind of put it in your purse. You could give it as a gift, and it's perfect for just something small. And I thought this would be cute for travel. So I'm going to be scrapbooking some pictures of me and my sister on a recent trip to Las Vegas. And so I'm going to talk about that as I go. But I decided to color the inside of the album. And so this is some Shimmers spray. I believe it's called Treasured Hem. And I just wanted the suitcase to look kind of brown and vintage, but not too dark. And I think all these pretty colors are going to look nice against the brown. And I'm just going back over it again with the distress ink there. And you're not going to be able to see the middle part. And I like how it looks. And a lot of this is the back, and so you're not going to be able to see all the imperfections of the inking. And so there are my teeny tiny mini photos. I don't wind up using 2 of them. Some of them are black and white, and some of them are in color. And so the bulk of the rest of this video is me putting together the actual papers with the embellishments and deciding which colors look good to the next color and which embellishments look good on which color. The first little paper there is from Take Me Away, and it's the map paper, and I cut out the part that's got the state of Nevada on it since this is about Vegas. I thought that was kind of cute. And this is a total mix and match of different papers from each of the collections. I just wanted some bright colors that would complement the photos and some fun patterns. I think I got that. So I'm going to cut all these teeny tiny photos apart and start to work on things. I struggled with what to do with the very front of the album, so I used a sheet of white cardstock and stuck it down. I'm going to do a little bit of mixed media on it, so I'm going to go ahead and put some gesso on it and let that dry, and then just start to play around with the pictures. What picture am I going to put where, and which one looks good on which paper? And I don't think I've ever worked with photos so tiny, but these are the perfect size. I fit these all on a 4x6 photo sheet. This is a little part from one of the papers from Oh My Heart. And if you check the blog post on Paige's blog, it's going to have every single paper that I used. Right off the top of my head, I'm moving so fast, I can't remember the number of each of these papers. That's from the Fancy Free 6x6 paper pad there. And I'm going to use my little 1/2 inch, I think that's a 1/2 inch, maybe it's 1 inch, circle punch there. This is from Oh My Heart, and I'm going to cut out several things. I use this paper a lot in this album. I'm going to do some fussy cutting on these little squares here, and I'm going to cut out the orange square and also one of those little clipboards. These are great small tiny pieces that are really fun to use for something small like this. And you know, it was a challenge for me because at this point I thought I'm just going to treat each of these little tiny pages like its own scrapbook page. And I just start to layer, and I don't want to put too much on each one. I don't want it to get too busy, I guess you could say. But I do have to do my mixed media. You know me, I love that part. So I'm going to come in with some gesso and just kind of add a little bit to each of the pages here, because I am going to do a little bit of inking on there just to give it my messy, fun little flair. But I don't want to cover up much. You know, I don't want to white out any of the colors there. So everything's dry. I did some stitching off camera in yellow, teal, and pink. Some of them I went around the entire square. Some of them I did some zigzag, just kind of random. I had a little fight with the yellow there, but you know what? It's on the back. You're not going to be able to see that. So I wasn't too concerned with it, and I was not going to start over at this point. So I thought, okay, we're just going to leave it there. It makes it look extra homemade, right? So I'm going to start in with some packaging technique here and just some of my shimmers sprays. I'm going to do a little bit of pink over here on the matte paper. And that's a picture of us on the plane. And our husbands were with us too, but we took lots of sister selfies. So I've got several things pulled from each of the collections there. Those are mostly from the ephemera packs. Fancy Free, Take Me Away, and maybe I don't have any Oh My Heart there, but I've got this is what I'm using from Oh My Heart. It's the sticker book, and I spelled out Here We Go because we're about to take off, and that is a little foiled heart from Fancy Free. And that's what I love about Paige's collections, is you can clearly mix and match them to pretty much make any style of page that you want. You know, I tried to pull things that kind of went with the theme of this, you know, weekend, fun, our happy place, just fun things that could be, you know, used for a travel page or a travel project. So I'm going to use the little clipboard on the third sheet there, and I'm going to layer in a little die cut from Fancy Free. Gonna add a little pink to that page. And once I got going with this part, it actually came together pretty quickly. The hardest part of this for me, for this whole thing, was coming up with the idea. You know, what kind of shape of an album do I want? How big do I want it? How many pages do I want it? Do I want one that you have to use, you know, those silver rings to hold it together? Because I'm clueless when it comes to this kind of thing. My specialty is 12 by 12 layouts. You know, I can crank those out easily, but this was actually a challenge, but I really enjoyed it because it made me get out of my comfort zone. It made me work on smaller scale. It made me look at the embellishments in a different way, and it was fun, and I really, really like how it turned out. I love that ticket that says heck yeah. We were probably at a bar there. Yeah. We were downtown Vegas with the Four Queens in the background over there on the far right. We were standing in a big shoe at the Cosmopolitan on the orange and pink page. And on the blue page with a circle underneath it, we actually went to the Monster Energy Cup to watch a Supercross race while we were out there, because her husband is into that, and so I'd never been, and my husband used to do that back in the day, and so I thought that'll be fun, and it totally was fun. I really enjoyed it. So we did all kinds of fun things, and just took lots of sister selfies and just had a really fun time. So now I'm going to add in, you know me, my addiction to tangled thread. I can't do a project without tangled thread, right? So, of course, a mini album is no exception. So that's all I'm doing here. And I don't add it to every page, but I do add it to a few. And I've got pink, I've got aqua, and I think I'm going to add some yellow somewhere. Yeah, I think over on the blue page. Yep, there I go with the yellow. And I don't know if I want to keep this or if I want to give it to my sister. I think she would love this, but I kind of love it too. I don't know. And that one right there with the pink thread that I'm working on there, we were outside on the strip just walking around checking things out, and you can't really see it here, but the Paris Hotel, the Eiffel Tower is in the background. And then the second picture, we were at the Flamingo, and there was like a really pretty waterfall and flamingos and things behind us. So and I decided to not use a photo on the Our Happy Place one. I just decided to kind of break it up and have just a sentiment there, and I like how that looks. And you know, it was interesting as I was doing this because I tried to be as minimalist as possible on each page and not go overboard, and everything was so tiny. It was a challenge to not want to keep putting stuff on there. You know, I had to kind of say, okay, this is enough. This is a small scale piece of paper, and so, you know, you don't want to junk it up with so much stuff that you can't see the picture. Because the whole point of this, for me anyway, for this one was the photos, and so I didn't want to add so much stuff that it got lost and got chunky and too big to close. So I'm going to work on the cover of my suitcase here. I'm going to do a little bit of packaging with the three main colors, a little bit of gelato. I just want some color and interest on the background, and I didn't want to use a pattern paper because I knew that I was going to add the shiny gold color shine here and use those colorful thickers from Oh My Heart to spell out Vegas. And so I wanted that to really pop. And so I wanted a kind of a neutral background that wasn't too, you know, didn't really have a big pattern on it. And I had to add some sparkle and shine on there because we're talking about Vegas, and you know how Vegas looks. It's sparkly and loud and shiny. And so I thought the color shine on the background would really kind of echo that. And of course the thickers were too big for my little suitcase, so I'm going to have to go and stack them, and I overlap them a little bit, and then it winds up looking exactly how I like it. Because I didn't want to leave the letters hanging off the edge. I glued the V and the E together and the GAS together, and I'm going to add some more metallic elements here. I'm going to just ball up some shiny gold thread and then glue the thickers right on top of it. And this way everything fits right on the cover, and you're going to get the color, you're going to get the dimension there on the outside, and you're also going to get that bright sparkle that just, to me, says Vegas. And I thought about using the other little pieces that came with this cut file on the outside of the suitcase, the corner pieces and everything, but I wound up not doing that. So I did a little more stitching on some pieces there. I stitched through Here We Go, and I love how the cover turned out. It's all dry, it's not going anywhere. I love that. I think that's adorable. And one of the last things I'm going to do is add just a little bit of journaling on most of the pages, mainly just where we were, because clearly there's not a lot of room for stories. So it's just, you know, we were at Paris, we were at the Flamingo, we were at the Supercross race, so on and so on. And I do add a little puffy sticker there just because I thought it needed a pop of pink, and that's from the Oh My Heart collection. So now comes the question of how are you going to get this thing to close? And I thought, I'm going to tie it with some hot pink embroidery thread and then add a couple of those little heart charms to it. Now, of course, if you're going to look at this after I close it up, you're going to have to untie it and probably take the string completely off. So, you know, I haven't come up with a super awesome way to make this part easy. But when it's closed and the bow is tied and those little charms are on there, I think it is the most adorable thing ever. So when I take it apart, I'm going to have to reassemble that, but that's okay because I think it looks cute like this. I love how it turned out. It's just a cute little package. and it looks like a little suitcase. And here come the final images. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was totally different than what I normally do, but I really did have a good time making this. I surprised myself because I thought I was, gonna fail at this miserably and just make a huge mess of it, but I liked it. It was fun. I may even do another one at some point. Who knows? But here's the final images. You can see how it's a cute little kind of crooked accordion, but that's okay because I did the mixed media on it, so it's not going to be perfectly straight. But when you stretch it out, you're able to see all of the pictures and all of the embellishments. And I really like how it looks. So let me know if you have any questions about anything here. I would love to know what you think about this. And make sure you check out the Paige Evans blog. I have that link down below, as well as the Pink Paisley store, where you can get all of these awesome collections. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend.